We're live. Just Your Average Joe here with my co-host James Mooney, and this is a new segment that we're rolling out called Real Talk. All right, now we can laugh. I don't know, dude. I thought it was something cool.
It is cool. No, it's fine. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
Instead of James. Thanks for coming in. And the good news is you finally have a webcam. You are hardwired.
Good news. Yeah.
Hardwired connected into your router, so your connection should be fine. So far, so good.
Cool.
All right. So basically, what this is going to do, what Real Talk, what I wanted to do every week, I'm hoping consistently, maybe Friday evenings. If we have to do it, James, to coincide with your job, we can always do it on Saturdays. That way you're off.
Yeah, I think Saturday would probably work better.
Yeah, if you're not available for Friday night, then Saturday is doable. But so basically what it'll do is what we're trying to do is sum up the weekly news of whatever breaks, whether it's sports, TV, movies, music, anything that we're passionate and we're passionate about and what we like. So that is what I'm aiming to do with the show. So James, just before we were about to go on, probably a little under an hour ago, you actually brought it to my attention because I wasn't online, and you told me a big story. And if you can tell everybody what that is.
That is what the Star Wars character of Boba Fett will be featured in The Mandalorian Season 2.
Correct. So breaking news, which is and this was not in my topic stream. This is basically, like I said, this just broke a little over an hour ago, or a little under an hour ago. And Boba Fett is confirmed for The Mandalorian Season 2, and it'll be played by actor Temuera Morrison. It's either Temuera or Temuera. I don't really. How would you say that name? Temuera?
Today or tomorrow? Oh, Temuera?
Tomorrow.
Temuera.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
And for you Star Wars fans out there, you'll know him as he played Jango Fett, and also the clones of Boba, of Jango, that and then played the clones of Jango, and then he chose Boba, but his age wasn't sped up, so he aged on at a normal rate. But okay. James, you're not a Star Wars fan, so you wouldn't know that.
No.
All right. So that is huge news. Something that, like I said, for not only a Mandalorian fan, because I love the show, but just a Star Wars fan in general.
Mm-hmm.
So that's big news, and I'm looking forward to it. It's coming out just a few months. Just on Monday, they announced a couple of directors that weren't involved in season 1. You got oh man,
what was the female director that you've been talking about?
Deborah Chow.
There you go.
But Bryce Dallas Howard actually did an episode as well.
You had mentioned her, yeah.
Yeah,
we spoke about that before.
Deborah Chow did two episodes, but they're honestly, now they said Dave Filoni is back. Jon Favreau is not only going to produce, but he's also going to direct, I believe, 2 episodes. Who's the other director? Not Tarantino, but the other one that did Grindhouse, not Grindhouse.
Robert Rodriguez.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so Robert Rodriguez.
I'm a huge Robert Rodriguez fan.
He's slated to direct at least an episode. I don't know if he's doing 1 or maybe doing 2. And then the other one that they just announced. Fuck, why can't I think of this right now? I think it is. I think it was Jon Favreau that they said. Okay. Anyway, either way, so they did announce a few other things in the beginning of the week about that. But again, this is huge news, and I'm glad we reported it. So the other big news that I wanted to report that's been the talks this whole week is Tom Cruise is going to space. It is confirmed that he wants to do. Nothing's in writing. There's no studio attached to it, but he wants to do a film in space that's going to be partnered with the SpaceX, Elon Musk's SpaceX program, and in cooperation with NASA as well.
I think that's an awesome idea. I think it's probably going to be amazing. I actually saw something on the news about it the other day, so I was just like, oh wow, this is going to be really interesting.
And the joke, the running joke has always been, whether it was with Fast and Furious, because I just feel like they're getting way out of hand with their movies, but with the last few Mission Impossibles, especially with the last one, I mean, he is a nut job. He does all the stunts. He jumped out of a plane. He not only jumped out of a plane, dude, but he did it. I can't remember how many times. I want to say 30. I might be wrong. I might be right. And he did it so many times that the cameraman that had to go out and film, his drop each and every time he did it, couldn't stand Tom Cruise for doing it. But Tom Cruise wanted to make sure it was absolutely perfect. Yeah. But he does his own stuff.
I have heard that about him. Yeah.
And everybody's been saying, well, the next Mission Impossible has to be in space. But apparently this is a different film. And it has nothing to do with Mission Impossible. So I ask you, would you rather it being in a Mission Impossible film that would be like a major plot in a Mission Impossible, or are you okay with it being in a standalone film just in space?
Yeah, not exactly. I think it's more interesting the fact that it's a standalone film of him in space. Absolutely.
All right. Now, are you a fan of the Mission Impossible movies or no?
I don't dislike them. But, I mean, I was never really able to get into them. I mean, the first one, I watched it twice. I fell asleep both times watching it. I actually liked the second one. The third one I've never actually seen with Philip Seymour Hoffman. I heard that was really good.
Right.
And obviously the rest of them I haven't. There was 4 of them, right? Was the last one was the 4th one?
No, they're up to 7.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, the 7th one is due out next year.
What was the last one? Was Ghost Protocol? Was that the last one?
No, the last one was Fallout. So Ghost Protocol.
Right. Okay.
Ghost Protocol was the 4th one.
Okay.
Then you had Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation. Okay.
And then you had Fallout. And Fallout was fucking amazing.
Okay. All right.
And that's the one where
I gotta catch up.
That's the one where the third one that you said that you haven't seen with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Right.
That was the only one directed by JJ, and financially in the box office it did the weakest.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was not good. I think the last 2. Well, no, the last 3 in general have done really good with 2 of them going almost at 700 million and Fallout grossing almost 800 million.
Oh wow.
Mission Impossible 3 only grossed just under 400. So I'm with you, dude. I saw the first one in the movie theaters way back in '96. It was okay. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't as they are just getting crazier and crazier with these. And the common denominator, especially with the last 2, they've all been directed by Christopher McQuarrie.
Right.
And he's also doing the next 2. So they're coming out with one. They're filming 2 back to back. And one's due out in 2021, the other one's due out in 2022. So, and I honestly thought they were going to space. I said, what can Tom Cruise do as Ethan Hunt to get, to go even further than he has already? And space just seemed like the more plausible thing.
Right.
But we'll see. So let's go back to let's go on to our next topic. So this is a topic that you actually read about. You even knew it before I did. I read about it online. I also watched it on a couple of other YouTube channels I follow. I wasn't really sure about one character, but you said he was confirmed. So somebody had asked Sylvester Stallone about the possibility of there being a sequel to this movie.
Right.
And supposedly Stallone went on his quoting say that that there is a script out there and it looks really good. And as far as the movie goes, he thinks they're set. So I ask you, is it really confirmed? You said you read everywhere that
multiple sources have confirmed that Wesley Snipes is on board for the sequel.
Now tell me, how do they do that since he's dead? That's what I want to know. How? First of all, let's go back. Let's go to the main issue that I have with this
character. Yeah.
With this news story.
Wesley Snipes isn't dead.
Forget about Wesley Snipes. Let's put him on ice for a second. No pun intended. Do we need a fucking Demolition Man 2?
After all these years, this is the problem with these movies that are sequels that are coming out. I mean, obviously we talked about that before, Coming to America. I mean, There's got to be a statute of limitations on sequels.
Yeah, but you know what? Coming to it, first of all, there's a difference here. All right. And the only difference I can say, I agree with you because it does go in line with what I'm talking about, how, these IPs or these franchises, I should say. Well, I mean, Coming to America is not really a franchise because it only had one movie. But so these movies that were popular in the 80s, well, this one, I mean, Demolition Man was in the mid-90s, but you have this movie like Coming to America, as you said, and they're coming out with a sequel finally after what? Almost
30 years. Over 30 years.
Yeah, over 30 years. But here's the difference. Eddie Murphy, doesn't look like he's in bad shape. And don't get me wrong, Sylvester Stallone's not in bad shape either. But Coming to America,
but he's too old to be doing these action movies.
Coming to America is a comedy.
Right.
You don't got Eddie Murphy jumping off a cliff,
exactly.
Or doing these weird action sequences.
Stallone at 75 jumping off cliffs. That's
yeah. I mean,
he might not make it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be jumping off a cliff per se. I'm just saying, like, these action films like Rambo, which I haven't seen the last one yet. I'm going to watch it because I want to watch it. But these movies like Rambo and
it's like if we did the Cliffhanger sequel. I mean, come on. Didn't you fall off in 93? Like, what happened?
Or like Daylight. What is it?
Hanging?
Daylight. When are they going to shut the lights off on you, man? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Stallone. I'm a huge Rocky fan. I actually did like the first Demolition Man. I thought most of his movies were really good.
Yeah, but I mean,
what I want to see.
Sorry, I'd much be more interested in seeing Coming to America sequel than I would be interested in seeing Demolition Man 2.
And it makes more sense because you don't have over the top action sequences with a guy who's in his 70s.
Exactly. And I mean, and plus the characters are more relatable. We all liked all the characters, and it'd be interesting to see what they've done with those characters in 30 years span.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's better than a reboot, but either way, and that's the problem. Like, how they think this movie is going to be?
I agree with you on that. It's
definitely
better on a reboot.
How this movie is going to be a financial success? I don't get it. I don't get
it.
Well,
it's Stallone, so he would make it. I mean, I think he could pull it off. If anybody can do it, he can.
It's the same premise as Arnold Schwarzenegger as Terminator, though, man. Right. It's just like it's honestly, in my opinion, man. And I don't feel bad. I mean, I don't feel bad for Arnold Schwarzenegger at all. But I'm just saying, like, you look at the character and you're like, man, like he got so old and he's still doing this. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, God bless him, but I don't know. I just feel like this is one of those movies that, I mean, what would make sense? Wesley Snipes to reprise his role as Blade, or not Blade himself because they already got another actor.
Matter of fact, now that we're talking about it, Wesley Snipes isn't coming to America too. I forgot about that.
All right, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I mean, again, but it doesn't, and it's not.
Why? I have no idea, but he's in it.
And I have no issue with Wesley Snipes being in Demolition Man 2 as an actor. I'm talking about your character's dead.
Like, obviously he didn't die. I mean,
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean, unless he's playing another character, which would kind of be silly at this point. But
are they bringing back Are they going to bring back the seashells to wipe his ass? Yo, where's the toilet paper? Well, actually, no. You wouldn't be able to find toilet paper today. All right, let's go back. Let's go to our next thing. So, basically, they did a rough list of the movies that were pushed back, and they gave all the movies that were pushed back either from this year or maybe even early next year, and giving their new dates. So, Quiet Place 2 was supposed to come out this March. Right. I actually did want to see it. I was because I did.
The first one was great. Yeah,
first one was amazing. It really was. That's coming out September 4th now. If all is said, if everything stays the way it is, or at least gets better, September 4th is the new release date. So you got Quiet Place 2 is now slated to come out the 4th of September. The new Bond movie, No Time to Die, was supposed to come out in April, and it's now coming out in November. So that's coming out November 25th. Black Widow also.
Might as well call it No Time for Release.
No Time for November. No Time November. Black Widow was supposed to come out May 1st. That's coming out also in November, early November, November 6th. Now, with those two movies that are like, especially Black Widow, because it's part of the MCU and that's Marvel. No Time to Die. This is going to be Daniel Craig's last hurrah as James Bond. With those two movies coming out in the beginning and the end of November, now you got Godzilla versus Kong, who's always slated to come out November 20th. How do you see those movies competing with each other and doing good, basically doing their fair share, or getting their fair share, I should say, in the box office? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think the Godzilla King Kong, that's going to be the biggest success.
You think so?
Out of all of them, I mean, that's the one I definitely want to see.
So Sammy, I hear they're coming back for another major league. Back down to single A. Hi, Fran. Hi, Kathy. Everybody, I see you. And dude, and that's why I like Facebook, man. I get.
Oh, we are on Facebook. I didn't know we were on Facebook.
Yeah, we're doing Facebook and whatever. And Kathy says hi to James too.
Hello, Kathy.
But and that's why I like to include Facebook as well. Not only YouTube, I want people that, you know, not everybody has YouTube that we know, that or that I know personally.
Right.
So I like the interaction, and that's why I like the live chat. So I mean, I think Godzilla versus Kong, because of the name and because it's the third movie, you know, in the trilogy of Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I gotta tell you, dude. I mean, less than a week later, the last Daniel Craig Bond movie. You know, I wonder if they push Godzilla versus Kong back. I really do. I wonder if they do a March 22. I'm sorry, March 2021 release.
I mean, at this point, I mean, I wouldn't put anything past them. You never know. But I'm not saying that Bond is not going to be a hit. It probably will be a hit, being
right.
that it's going to be his last movie as Bond. So I'm sure it will be. But I don't think it's going to do as good as King Kong versus Godzilla.
And then of course you got Black Widow, but that comes out like 2 weeks before then. So I mean, I think it has enough money to be in the box office to make its money, and
sure.
I think it will. So then you got Top Gun 2, which is coming out a day before Christmas Eve, and that was supposed to come out in June. So that's pushed back a half a year. We got a 6-month pushback on that. And you got Ghostbusters Afterlife. That's coming out in March of next year now instead of July. The Many Saints of Newark is coming out March of next year instead of September.
I was really anticipating that.
I was too, but they've yet to even show us a trailer on that.
I know. I mean, I think by now they should at least do that. I mean,
he bet. You know what though, Kathy? With the way 2020 is going, I wouldn't be surprised if Godzilla came here personally, for real. I think Bond will do well since it's the final. I do too. I mean, I know it's not the final Bond, but because it's Daniel Craig's final movie, and they might pass the torch within the movie. Who knows who's going to become the next Bond? This is a very highly anticipated Bond. But yeah, dude, back to Many Saints of Newark. It's just weird. If it was due out September of this year, why isn't there any trailers or anything for it?
I don't know. I mean, they have to be done filming it already. They have to be.
Not if things were pushed back. Production.
Yeah. It could be in post-production.
Now you got Morbius was slated for July. That's also coming out in March of next year.
That's Jared Leto, right?
Jared Leto's Morbius. Yeah, that looks the trailer.
Yeah, you showed me the trailer for that. That's right.
That trailer looked actually kind of cool, man. It really did.
It does look good. Yeah.
And then Fast 9, that's due out in April of next year. Supposed to come out. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was supposed to come out May of this year. But dude, I mean, it's almost a year ahead. But do you really care about Fast and the Furious?
I don't. I've never really. Those have never really been, big movies in my. I mean, I guess the first one was probably the only one I really remember that I thought was at least halfway decent. It's not really my type of movie. I'm just not into it.
Kathy says she's looking forward to Godzilla because those are her two favorites.
I agree. It's exactly how I feel.
And Stephanie's saying
hello. Hey, Steph, how are you?
Hey, Steph. Hope you're being safe. Thank you for your service. Stephanie's out there working.
Yep.
So, what was I going to say? And I'm old enough to remember. I mean, the movie predates mostly all of us are in here, but I'm old enough to remember the old King Kong versus Godzilla. Do you remember that one, dude? The one with the people in the suits?
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible, dude. King Kong's face looks so distorted. I wish I could pull up a picture right now. No, you don't want them to go straight to digital, dude. Definitely not.
No, that's something you want to see in the theater.
Yeah, which one? And which one would you want? See, it works with smaller movies. I think it works more with
Actually,
anime.
Many Saints of Newark, I wouldn't mind if that went to digital.
No, and they could do. So they could. So Sammy, to answer your question, they could do. And I wouldn't be pissed off about it. They can definitely do a Many Saints of Newark premium on demand. You know.
Yeah.
But as far as these other, especially King Kong versus Godzilla, no, dude, you got to see that in the theater. Stelly says, "Hey, what's up?
What's up, Mikey?
What's up, Mike?" I was never a big fan of those movies. Kathy, which one are you talking about? The older ones? Fay Ray, yeah. I mean, that's the original. That's the original 1930 something classic, right? King Kong.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Jeff Bridges one was good too. That was just the one from 76.
Yeah, that was the one when he's on the Twin Towers.
Right.
Yeah, so me too, Sammy. I'm kind of
Ghostbusters is going to be a good one.
I'm kind of bummed that we got to wait till March of next year, but that's definitely something. You know, who knows? Maybe this gives us some. Maybe it gives what's his face? Jason Reitman a little more time to make the movie even better. Oh yeah, Fast and the Furious now. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought the first one was good. The second one I just recently seen. I never watched it when it was in the theaters. And Tokyo Drift I wasn't really crazy about. I stopped liking them when they went from what they started out to be, which were, you know, drag racing and racing, you know, illegal racing, street racing in the movies. And now it's like they're saving the world and stuff.
Right.
I still don't know if you've seen it, but this last Fast and the Furious 9 trailer, man, where they basically swing from one part of an island to another island from a vine from a car. I mean, it's absolutely,
that's not far-fetched.
It absolutely blows my fucking mind. Like, where are you going with this franchise? You got, and they keep making, but the thing is, they keep making money.
Listen, the bottom line is there's people who love those movies, and they're going to pay to see it, no matter what, you know, no matter how many they come out with. 47 of them, they'll still go see them.
And Kathy, I actually also liked
I loved Skull Island was great, and I loved the Peter Jackson King Kong. I thought was fantastic.
Do you remember King Kong Lives?
That I do, yeah, I do remember that. That was I like that movie. Yeah, I like.
Who was in that? What was was that a?
I can't remember now off the top of my head. No.
Was that what's her face from Terminator?
You know what? I think you're right. Was Linda Hamilton?
Was Linda Hamilton in that movie?
I think you're right about that. I'm almost positive.
I actually own it on DVD.
That was 86, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I own it on DVD. When I rewatched it recently, I wasn't crazy about it.
I thought it was decent.
Yeah, no, Kathy, that actually was really when they finally show him at the end.
Yeah, that was really cool.
In that the full Morbius makeup or whatever, digital, whatever, that was really cool. And I even liked the cameo from Michael Keaton's Vulture at the end. I thought that was really cool. It's confusing because I don't know. They're not supposed to be in the same universe, but you know, who knows? But yeah, so those are the new movie release dates as of now. And the one movie, and of course Wonder Woman, which I didn't mention, that's due to come out in August of this year. The one movie I didn't put on there because I wanted it to be its own separate topic is this. So you know how much of a Christopher Nolan fan I am. I feel like everybody that knows me knows that I love Christopher Nolan. I think the one movie, surprisingly, that I wasn't crazy about, which was still a good movie, I just wasn't crazy about it, was Memento.
Which was my favorite movie.
I know, and I know you love Memento. But, dude, ever since Inception, this director, for me, has just I just love his movies. I mean, I still think Inception's his best. But with the Dark Knight trilogy that came out, Interstellar that came out in 2014.
Interstellar I liked, yeah.
Now, Dunkirk, I don't know if you've seen Dunkirk.
I haven't seen Dunkirk, no.
1917 was definitely a little bit better, but Dunkirk was good. It just, for me, wasn't like, oh man, that was an amazing Nolan film.
Right.
But I am so psyched and I am so pumped up and anticipating this movie. And I got to see the 11-minute IMAX footage that they rolled before in the previews for Rise of Skywalker when you saw that in the theater. This movie, and it's definitely going to be one of those movies you have to watch like 2 or 3 times to get, like Inception. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he is adamant about holding on to that July 17th release. So the thing is, he's not changing its release. He's not pushing it back, which July 17th might be far enough where he doesn't have to.
Right.
Let's go to this question before we get to can it save the theaters. Do you think it's the right move by Christopher Nolan, holding out and keeping it for July?
Yeah, I mean, I could see why he's doing it, because he's hoping, like everyone else is hoping, that things are pretty much back to normal by then. I mean, obviously, there's going to be a lot of rules. We know this as they're already starting to open things up slowly.
But the thing is, I don't even know what those rules are. Like, I can't even begin to understand.
They're going to have to separate people.
And the thing is,
section off the theaters and put
but that's also over 2 months away. We didn't even know what the situation is going to be like anyway. It could be normal where everything is completely back to normal, which I don't think it will. But again, that's 2 months away. Or it could be the same or worse.
That's true. Very true. We don't know.
We don't know. I mean, we can only just pray for the best. But the thing is, the only reason where I think it makes sense as of now, hold your ground. Dude, July is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else coming out in that month that I can think of that can even possibly rival it in the theaters.
Right.
So, which comes to the other point, will it save the movie theaters? Because of the financial struggles that they're doing, because they've been closed, these last couple of months.
Well, if it's a big enough movie and you get enough people to go see it at that point in time, if things are remotely okay again, then sure, I don't see why I wouldn't be able to save it. But we won't know until that time comes.
Kathy said that she loved the Jeepers Creepers movies as well. Now, I don't remember if I saw part 2. I didn't
see the third. I didn't think I saw the whole third. I seen a little bit of the third one.
Yeah, Mike, he finally, and thank you again for coming on and supporting Mike, but he finally got himself set up with the webcam. He's looking good. He's sounding good.
Rocking and rolling, man.
Rocking and rolling. And I told you, man. So here's the thing. And James, I told you this. I know you were frustrated. I know you were discouraged about every time we would do a group stream or whatever, but I've come to find out from watching other people that do these StreamYard group streams and live streams that, and nothing against StreamYard, because I love it and I love using it, but to use a cell phone on it, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It don't. So it really, honestly,
this is 100 times better.
It honestly really had nothing to do with your connection as well. This just solidifies your connection by being in a hardwire. So, guys, thank you for everybody who's in the chat and who's commenting and showing support. If you also can, which helps, whether you're viewing it through YouTube or Facebook, hit that like button. Definitely does an added support as well. So yeah, I think, dude, because it's a wide open month, and if everything stays on course and things continue to get better, hopefully, and Tenet does hold its ground, because it's a Nolan feature, and because of the mystery behind the movie, because you really don't know what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could draw a crowd enough to finally put the movie theaters back in play.
No, absolutely, I agree,
and I really hope that's that. But you know what, dude? And a quick segue into the next topic. That's not the only thing slating to come in July. So here we go. And I'm not talking about myself. This is it. Is baseball back? So they are reporting a July, and this is speculation, and this is apparently former Minnesota Twin Trevor Plouffe commented saying that there's a July 1st opening day tentative. With now, he didn't report this. I did a little research. Supposedly they're flirting with the idea of 3 divisions with 10 teams in each division, an East, a Central, and a West.
I don't know how this is going to go.
So you got the Yankees, you got the Mets, you got the Red Sox, the Rays, the Pirates,
all in the same. Yeah.
Any of the Phillies, anything that's in the Eastern Seaboard, the Marlins, anybody that's on the East, anybody that's in the Central, and anybody that's in the West. Now it's a great configuration, but how do you draw a playoff bracket from that. And what does a World Series look like if there's no American or National League? I just don't do it.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't like the concept of it.
If there were 4 divisions, that would make sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't like the fact that the Yankees and the Mets are in the same. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Putting the Yankees and the Mets in the same division, like how does this World Series even count? You know what I mean? It blows my mind. And again, I don't know if that's exactly how they're going to do it.
No, who knows?
And the other thing is too, they're going to be holding their spring training. So they're going to do a spring training 0.2 or 2.0. And instead of doing them in the way they usually do it, like in Arizona or in Florida, they're going to be doing it in their own home baseball fields. But the thing is, everything is based on.
But now, if they're going to start in July, so the spring training going to be in June?
It's in June.
Going to do it? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But the thing is, it's also based on the cities and how the infected areas are.
Right.
So when you look in New York, who's had so many issues and so many infected and so many so many case histories, how do you open up the ballparks in the Bronx and Queens?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And what, again, like we were talking about with the movie theaters, what are the ballparks going to look like? Are they going to be at full capacity? Are they going to play empty stadiums? Like, how are they going to do this?
Yeah, they're going to have arrows like they have in the supermarkets. You're going to sit here. You're going to sit here. You go this way. Stay away from this guy.
Right. I don't know. Look, am I looking forward to baseball?
Everybody's going to have masks on. Somebody's going to use their mask to catch the ball.
Well, the other thing is too, concessions going to be like, I don't know, man. I know they're starving. I know these.
Somebody will like, listen, this guy just touched the mustard. I ain't going nowhere near him.
I know these organizations need to make money. I get it, but I don't know. I really don't. I can't foresee what a baseball season will look like unless everything is completely eradicated. You know, if everybody woke up tomorrow and the world, the world suddenly was coronavirus free and there was no other cases, there was 0 cases, then I can see, okay, you know what? I'll go to a ballpark tomorrow.
Right.
But,
that's a good point, Kathy.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. And that's the other point. The same thing with the movie theaters. Like, I mean, granted, I know movie theater tickets. If you can see it in IMAX, they're a lot more affordable than a baseball ticket is. Right. And that's the other thing too. Are they going to even cut prices? Is Yankee Stadium?
It makes sense that they would cut prices. I mean,
but the other thing is too, if they have to cut prices, let's say, okay, I really don't know the attendance capacity, but let's just say Citi Field holds like 38,000 fans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they can only do 8. So now you're at 17.5 thousand. Now you have half the population. First of all, does Citi Field even really sell out? No. So you got half the population, half the capacity in the park. Now you're hoping that they cut prices. How much are they going to make for a game?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You know what though? I think at this point nobody's really thinking about that. They just want to get somewhat back to normalcy and have people back just watching the games again.
And you know what? Go the fanless games and just watch them on TV.
Well, do that. Yeah.
It's as simple
as that. I'm okay with that, especially if you're going to shorten the season. And
it's as simple as that. And just make your money with sponsorships.
Right.
That's the only thing. You got to make your money with sponsorships. That also might increase the time of the game though, because then they'll have to increase the revenue with the commercials.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, that's the only plausible. Now, how are they doing it?
And that's what pays for it to be on TV anyway.
How are they doing? Because you would know. How are they doing it with wrestling? How is wrestling making money if they're not making? If the fans aren't there?
Just like with the television audience, it is what it is. The ratings itself,
But
there's no fans. Yeah, I mean, they can't have anybody.
Are they doing commercials? More than usual.
Yeah. I mean, not more than usual. No, the commercials just that's what pays for their to be on the air. So.
even movies that didn't go to theaters and went straight to digital, like Trolls, was not rentable for months. It was So
Right.
things are going to be ridiculously expensive. So are they going to charge to watch these sporting events on television to make revenue back? Well, that's the other thing, though, too. So what I thought, I mean, it's in the line of what you said, Kathy, but what I didn't understand is if, and granted, this is only if things were going to be the remaining for the next few months, and you absolutely had to release a movie on demand. Let's just say, for example, they wanted to do Black Widow. Let's say, okay, look, Black Widow, we were supposed to come out in May. What did I say? The new release date is November.
Mhm.
Let's say they didn't want to wait till November, and they said, you know what? Let's try to do a live action premium on demand. Now they did do it for The Hunt, and they did do it for The Invisible Man, but the difference is, The Invisible Man actually had had a theatrical release. It was in the
Right.
it was in the movies, and it made its money for the. I think it was in there for a month, so it actually had a theatrical release. But let's say
Mhm.
you were to release Black Widow premium on demand. People are quarantined. Now, I know there's always the threat of piracy. I get it. And I know if you're going to do it digital, that maybe the piracy threat is even more than it would be in the theater. But I feel like piracy is going to be there no matter what anyway.
Of course. Yeah. That's
Now,
never going to end.
I was following a YouTube channel. I still do, but I commented on this a while back, and I asked him, how can they not make money? And he basically used the formula that the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight made. And he took the 100, what was it? How much was that fight? $90, I think?
Probably.
And I think
Sounds
there
about
was,
right.
I think there was a certain amount of buys or whatever, and he was just basically saying, well, it didn't make the money.
The buy rate. Yeah.
And what I said was, well, it's different, and I'll tell you why. We're quarantined. We can't have watch parties at home. I can't have a group of people like a sporting event, like a pay-per-view event, or even a Super Bowl party where there's a big group of us, and we're renting a movie or a pay-per-view event for $100. Now, if they were to take a movie like Black Widow, charge like a $49.99 or even a $59.99 one-time rent, not to buy, to rent,
Mm-hmm.
for the people that are stuck at home, why wouldn't they make money? It's an MCU fan. First of all,
Yeah,
kids
do
are
you
going to
think
want to
people are
watch it.
going to rent a movie for $60?
But if I wait, let's say I go wait in November, or forget, let's pretend this didn't even happen and the movie came out in May, and I went to go see it in IMAX. Dude, tickets are almost $30 each. If I go with my girlfriend, I pay for that. You buy concession, you buy your soda, your popcorn, your candy. Guess what? You just paid more than that anyway in the movies.
No, I get that, but I mean, to watch it at home, you're saying to rent, you're going to pay $60 for a movie you're only going to watch one time.
You did that for the movies. Same thing.
I get it.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, Kathy is right. People are out of work, but
right,
and that's the other thing too. But do people even have money? Not only to watch these movies on demand and rent them or buy them, but to even see them in the movie theaters. But yeah, that's a whole other topic. Trust me. talk about rent.
That's what I'm saying. They're not going to pay $60 to watch a movie.
And not everybody's going to pay that exactly. But
right, exactly, Kathy.
But what was I going to say though? But here's the thing though. So going back to what the other Kathy was saying. That didn't went straight to digital like Trolls was not rentable for months. It was buy for I thought. So Kathy, I thought Trolls was a renting thing. It wasn't to buy. I thought that was the other thing. It was a premium on demand to rent. But they supposedly they made over $100 million for their which they considered a success. I mean, it is an animated film.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Because she's saying Trolls. I'm thinking of the old horror movie from like the 80s, Troll. And
No. It's an animated movie.
No, I know what it is. Yeah, no, I wasn't even thinking about that.
But I don't know. But going back to but Kathy, you bought it or you rent? Like I didn't know it was to buy. I thought it was to rent. I thought that $19.99 or whatever it was to rent. It might be available to buy now, but when it first came
either
out,
way, for $15, you'd be better off. You're not gonna, you're not getting that money back. You might as well buy it.
and that's why I wouldn't rent that for $20. No way.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I did rent Invisible Man.
Yeah.
I did rent Invisible Man, but
Which became Invisible Money.
it was definitely
Money
Invisible
was
Man.
gone after that.
I put my I hit click and then my $20 went invisible. But and also too, we also talked about that. You know, in a normal setting, for certain movies, I don't mind watching it at home. I don't. I mean, I got a decent surround sound. It's like almost 10 years old, but it's a decent Bose surround sound.
I mean, the way movie theaters are, like, I'd much rather watch movies at home and be comfortable, you know? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the nostalgia. Ever since I was a kid of going to the movies, when we were kids, we went all the time. It's just not the same as it was anymore. It's too expensive. It's overcrowded.
Overcrowded, and like I said in
And you
previous
get nut
streams,
jobs like you that like to go to midnight showings in 100-degree weather when air conditioners are broken.
well, that's the thing of the past now. There's
and
no
your
more
soda's
midnight
warm
showings.
in 5 minutes.
We don't got no more. There's no more midnight showings. That's the thing of the past. Now the what do you call it? The sneak premiere, not the sneak premieres. The premieres of the movies are like 7:00 the night before.
Right.
So they're even better. So yeah, when we had to wait in line, man, and we were going to movies, well,
that was insane.
I wanted to see
Captain America. I wanted to hang myself.
Dude, that was a rare. As
much as I liked the movie, I was going to die in that movie theater.
Dude, there was a heat wave and the AC was broken in the movie.
I was ready to get naked and just like give me his shield. I don't know.
So she owns it on iTunes. The options are to rent through. Okay, after a certain amount of time, and they give you a date when you.
Well, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not a bit. See, that's okay. Yeah.
If you did not do it for trolls, it was to buy, and that's it. Yeah. So I didn't know. I thought it was when it came out a couple of weeks ago. It was to buy to rent, and then it went on sale to rent for $19.99 so they can make their money, and then they put it. I don't know why anybody would want to own trolls.
The movie or a troll itself?
Either way. So, guys, let whoever's in the chat, whoever's in the comments, what movie, whether it's something that I had mentioned earlier or just a movie in general, what movie either were you looking forward to see that's pushed back, or just a movie in general that you look forward to see now? I would like to know. I mean, Kathy already said she's looking forward to King Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong. James, you and I definitely want to see Quiet Place 2. I thought the first one was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is too, John Krasinski is going to be back in it, even though,
Emily Blunt too as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away anything, but John Krasinski is going to be back. They're going to be doing a certain thing with that, but of course he's directing. So that's another movie that looks good. The Milan.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The live action Milan movie.
Yep, definitely.
The trailer looks really good for that. I think that's going to be a hit for Disney with the live action, because I know there were a couple of hits and misses. I did enjoy Aladdin. I didn't see Lion King. You saw Lion King though, right, James?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good.
But I didn't see Dumbo. I heard Dumbo was not that good.
It was all right. I mean, I was glad I watched it.
And Lady and the Tramp.
I don't know.
Lady and the Tramp, I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. Didn't know what happened. What? Kathy, what is that response to? You were waiting for that. Didn't know what happened. And of course, like we said too, James, I mean, forget about the fact that they pushed it to March. When are they going to show us something with the Many Saints of Newark?
I mean,
and for those of you who don't know what the Many Saints of Newark is, it's
a prequel to The Sopranos.
It's a prequel movie to The Sopranos. It's going to be when Junior and Tony Soprano were younger, and the younger Tony Soprano.
She was talking about Ken Kong. That's
okay.
What she was talking about.
The younger Tony Soprano is going to be played actually by James Gandolfini's son, which is really good because obviously, rest in peace. We no longer have James around. So the X-Men movie with the kids. Oh, you're talking about the oh my God, the New Mutants with the kids, and that's tip of my tongue. Yeah, it's the New Mutants. That's been constantly been being pushed back, but I think it's finally going to come out. I think that's another one where they should have just cut their losses and what do you call it? Either release it on like Hulu or
I've
Disney.
never even watched one of those movies, but I gotta say that they just go too many sequels with all these movies. I don't know.
Well, they're doing it in different ways. I mean, obviously you had X-Men 1, X-Men 2, and X-Men The Last Stand. That was the original trilogy. You know, that was one that Bryan Singer did, and you know, was with Hugh Jackman and the older cast. But then you
Right.
were like the new class that came out. Then you had like the Days of Future Past. You had Apocalypse. Like it was all different, but they were doing the characters as a younger age. I didn't think did it in a bad way.
I can't say that they did. I've never even seen a movie. So
Yeah. In fact, Days of Future Past is actually one of my favorite X-Men movies.
Okay.
And if you haven't seen Logan yet, dude.
I know. I heard that was probably the most
But
popular.
the thing is, if you haven't watched X-Men from the year 2000 when it first came out up until now,
yeah.
and then you watch a movie like Logan, it's not really going to do the same thing to you that it did for me in the movie theater.
Yeah, I guess.
To be honest with you, it was a little emotional. It was because you're emotionally invested in this character that's been on the screen for almost 20 years, and Hugh Jackman.
Would you say for me not to watch any of the X-Men movies? Should I still watch it?
I would definitely say watch it, but see the problem. Yes, so I will agree. So I won't. I actually won't go far as saying as it was garbage. That movie got trashed way before it came out, and then I finally seen it, and I was like, all right, you know. Granted, I don't think they should have done it, but I didn't think it was garbage. I didn't think it was bad. I think there were a couple of other ones that I didn't like, probably a little more than this. But I agree. As a whole, I didn't think it was that good of a movie. But yeah, of course, Logan was fantastic.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just a great movie, and it was a great way to end that character. It really was. But the thing is now, how do you go? Where do you go from here with the X-Men? Now in the MCU, how do you recast Wolverine when Hugh Jackman did it so well? It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely watch it.
Okay.
Couldn't hurt you.
Yeah, no.
I just, you know what? I wasn't crazy.
Do you know if by any chance, do you know if any of them are is the original X-Men on Netflix, or you don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I wouldn't. You probably wouldn't have to watch the Wolverine solo movies. I wasn't crazy about the Wolverine movies, to be honest with you. Like, not Wolverine Origin, I think that's what it's called, or X-Men Origin and the Wolverine. I think the one after it was okay, but I wasn't crazy about the Wolverine Origin movie. But yeah. So look, if I had to pick one movie that I am really psyched for that's still coming out this year, I mean, I guess. If not Quiet Place, I got to go Top Gun 2. And I just want to see what they do with it. I really do. And again, I really hope it feels like a Top Gun movie and it doesn't feel like Mission Impossible with him be a fighter pilot.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Ghostbusters was still coming out this year. I was really looking forward to that, but who knows? But a lot of good movies that are being pushed back to next year that we have to wait, which sucks. But who knows?
That reminds me, we mentioned the Coming to America. I wonder if that's still on for a December release, I think.
Okay, it was. That was what my question was. So it was due for December release?
Yeah.
I think it should be fine. Unless the filming had to be pushed back because of what was going on, I think they should be fine.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, did they ever release a trailer?
No, I don't think they did, actually. Yeah, so who knows? That might be up in the air right now.
Let me ask you another thing. Where the hell is Bill and Ted's 3?
Last thing I heard was they released like photos of it, but I never saw it. There's no trailer or anything. I believe they finished filming it. I'm sure. I'm almost positive they did. They finished.
Yeah, Coming to America, if it's still slated to come out in December, that's another one that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, me too. I mean, well, I think it's going to be, would I think it'd be good as the first one? Probably not. I mean, I would love it to be, but, after 30 years, who knows? But, I mean, I'm excited, though. I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
Well, I hope so. I hope they do it right. And I hope, and going back to, obviously, the baseball thing, again, I am I am looking forward to baseball. I know we all are. I know we're itching for baseball to be back on TV and sports in general. But it might be for selfish reasons. It might be just because we're bored, or we're home doing nothing, whatever. But like a lot of people said in the comments, and the same thing goes for the movie theaters. Yeah, we want things to go back to normal, but there are still people that can't pay rent. There's still people that are struggling to pay electric and phone bills and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I know I've been trying to trim my resources and focus stuff on the main things, like going out and buying food, and beer, but and wine. But just in general, like, I mean, I just don't see, unless people were still working from home and whatnot. I don't see the rush to go out into these baseball arenas and into these venues, whether it's concerts and in movie theaters, because people just probably don't even have the money.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
I didn't even know there was going to be a Friday 4.
I didn't know it either, though. I'm glad she told me, though. 'Cause I'm a fan of the Friday movies. I like them.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be a Met fan to watch baseball. What about,
You got
unless you
Met
are a Met
hater
fan?
now.
No, she may not. Hold on. So, Kathy, are you a Met hater, or you're just saying you're not looking forward to baseball because the
I'm going with Kathy's a Yankee fan.
I don't know. But the redneck in me, Mrs. NASCAR, you're not the only one. I think actually Castelli, if you're still on
I like it for the accidents.
No way I'm paying for crap like that. Yeah, he was I see, that's what I figured. So that makes sense. She wouldn't have said it if she was a Yankee fan. She is a Met fan. That's why she said she's not looking forward to it, because the Mets suck.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the season looked a little promising. It sucks. But and the other thing is too, if the season does turn out to be a wash, it might not be a bad thing because of Syndergaard's injury and going and doing the Tommy John surgery. This might be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
So she says she loves the Mets. But so anyway, guys, I hope you really like the stream. This is just a different segment that I was trying to incorporate in an array of my different shows on here. I'm going to look to, as I said earlier, I'm looking to either do a consistent Friday night or even a Saturday night stream to accommodate James's schedule. But yeah, I want to do something just like this. I want to, whether it's in the beginning of the week or middle of the week or even right before we go on and stream, James, you and I, we're going to try to do our research when you can, because I know you have work. I'm sitting here with my thumb in my ass, so I can easily do that. Yeah. And I'll look at all the different things that are coming out in the news, whether it's about baseball, whether it's more details about the season coming back, movies in general and stuff like that, and then we can report them. And if you guys like what you see, come in and join the broadcast with us.
And we'd like to hear your feedback. It's really important.
Yeah. And if you weren't here, guys, if you weren't here to watch the chat live, or watch the stream live, I'm saying, and enjoy the live chat. Enjoying the live chat, please feel free to comment on the video, either on Facebook or even on YouTube. I can answer any questions, or and I'll also recommend, or what's the word I was looking for? I value your feedback as well. And also too, maybe give us a scoop or something to talk about in our next stream, right, James? I know you and I can always look forward to that.
Sure, absolutely.
But again, I hope you liked our stream. This has been the first live episode of Real Talk, which is our weekly all your entertainment news, sports, film, movies. Film and movies are the same thing, I guess. Film, TV, and even if music, any music that you and I like, that recently drops that we want to share with everybody, or if you guys have an artist that albums coming out now, or even in the weeks to come, let us know. We can even talk about that. I don't mind talking about music as well on here. That's why it's called entertainment, right?
That's it. Sounds like a plan, man.
All right, guys. If you haven't liked if you're on YouTube or Facebook, please again hit that like button. Also, too, if you do have a YouTube and you just happen to be on here as well, pass by my channel and hit subscribe if you haven't. I would also I also welcome the subscribers. That helps me out as well. James, I know you're a subscriber, right? Yep. That means you too, Pinocchio. All right, and this is perfect because it was just under an hour where I wanted it. And I think that's where we're probably going to.
No, this was fun. I can't wait to do it again.
Kathy, both Kathys, thank you for I don't know, Kathy, whichever like button. You could do it on Facebook. There should be a like button right next to it. It would be on the stream post.
Just like it, Kathy. Like it.
Like it. You know what? No, you should love it. All right, guys. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for everybody.
Thanks, guys.
That commented. Thank you for everybody that tuned in live. And again, if you do happen to catch this stream on record and on syndication, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and tune in next week for a new and riveting episode of Real Talk with myself, Just Your Average Joe, and the one and only James Mooney.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you again for coming on, James. Guys, have a good night.
Take care.